Alright, make another video about MTC. MTC was really interesting. I sadly did not short this, which was good because I didn't get squeezed, and which was bad because I didn't get the fade. But MTC, this is your classic thin China manip, right? So, by the way, Discord is open. We talked a lot about this in the Discord. Um, I saw people train this yesterday, people training it today. Uh, Not bad trades, by the way, but I was avoiding this one. I was telling the people in Discord the reason I was avoiding this because I opened it yesterday. This was yesterday, October 19th. Uh, I was like, man, these China names. I don't know if you noticed, but the stock started at 50 cents and was just grinding. It had a big volume day here, and it was grinding up, grinding up, grinding up on no volume. There's no volume, and it's just grinding. This is up, another 100% from lows, another 100% from lows, another 100 on no volume. This is like your standard thin China manipulated BS that exists in the stock market. And the way these China pumps work is like a lot of times you get these thin accumulation, just pushing it up, pushing it up. Retail's trying to short it because, for example, yesterday, this started at 50 cents. This was up to right here. This is up to $2. That's 50 cents to $2. It's getting extended. But I was like, I don't really like, as a short, I don't like trading these. I don't like trading this. I don't like trading this. Because thin stocks, and especially thin China stocks, have a habit of giving you a move that looks like it's working, right? And yeah, if you're only going for like a 10% move, I guess it's fine. But if I'm holding for a bigger move, the way thin China minute tends to work is you get a big move, you get a pullback, and then you just get this thin, low volume, so there's no volume, but it's not fading. And it could and the thing is with China stocks, they could keep doing that for days and days and days and days. And if you're trying to catch the top as a short, you can really get squeezed, right? So, in other words, I don't think the fade potential is really big enough based on what I know about thin China stocks, right? So, today was pretty interesting. Again, we had another big volume push. Um, this time to 3, and this one actually had a little bit more volume, but it's still not really enough, man. Like, and by thin volume, like, yeah, this started hitting like 400k, 300k. It was pretty interesting, but on every pullback, it starts trading like 40k, 30. Like, the stock already is trading 30k volume at the top on the pullback. Like, it's it really messes with the fade, even if you get the move you want. Again, and this was actually that's actually a 20% move, assuming you've shorted it at the very top. But it's not bad, but I was just like, it's not really what I like to see. And then and then in the Discord, in the trading Discord, link down below. It's through Patreon, but in my trading Discord, somebody pointed out, "Hey, Jason, did you like? I think this is fake $3 resistance." I was like, oh, that's a good call. Like, especially on a thin manipulated China name, I was like, oh yeah, I could see $3 being. I made a video on fake half-dollar, whole-dollar resistance, right? I could see that level getting attacked, right? But they're like, what do you think about longing this down here? I'm like, oh, that's tough. Like, it's really tough to predict when the initiate. Sometimes initiation comes, which is what I was saying on my Discord. I'm like, sometimes it comes an hour later, sometimes it comes 4 hours later. What's funny, I said, hey, this might take a couple hours, and I said that right here. And then two minutes later, it goes up. But somebody else in my Discord was like, hey, Jason, do you think this is aggressive push off of deep support? I always talk about how these deep aggressive moves off of support on low volume can be very bearish, right? But I was like, I don't like it because it's thin China manip, right? The thin China manip factor to me is very bullish, and it messes with fade, so I didn't want to touch it, right? So it starts to pump, and this pump was actually insane. If you guys want to start using Bookmap, the most insane things are happening, like stuff you almost never ever see. Pretty much what they were doing. I took some screenshots. This is let's see. So here's the push. Again, you could actually, if you're trying to short the top on this, this is where Bookmap comes to save you because they were shoving like 80,000 share bids under the squeezes from 3 up to 470, they were just shoving massive bid, massive bid. These dark colors are bids. All these circles that I circled, these are all bids that are just they're just shoving more bids, pushing it, and then and like when you get huge bids following a stock up, it's often for a reason, right? It's usually to initiate a squeeze. Now eventually those bids will get pulled, right? And a lot of times you can have very deep fades. But you never know when that's going to happen, right? So the entire time I was just watching these bids get thrown under here, and I'm just like, wow, dude, like they're really squeezing this, dude. Like they're really, really squeezing this thing. And I mentioned that, yeah, because there's some people in the Discord that went long on this, from lower, and they were selling in this little move up here. They were selling up here. I was like, oh, what's nice about Bookmap is if you see bids come in, you can keep holding on to your long, right? You just keep holding on because as long as the bids keep holding, there's no reason for you to sell because the market maker who's ever moving this is just supporting the bid. You can see it on the Bookmap. It's pushing up. It's great. And yeah, and funny enough, on the dump. So the reason this dump, guys, because all these thin China pumps eventually go down, right? Like they're liquidity events. Like they're essentially trying to trap shorts on the front side to push a stock up. And then once the pump is done, that thing could fade 70, 80, 90%. Like this could get, like this is kind of consolidating right now in the 1.5s. This could be at $1 tomorrow. This could be at 50 cents, and I mean on Monday. This could be at 50 cents by the end of next week. Like this could just keep going down and down and down and down and that type of thing. So yeah. But anyways, this now becomes extremely tradable because now the volume is coming in. Again, I always say the best shorts come after early shorts have been squeezed. The $3 shorts have been squeezed. The volume's coming in. It's no longer thin. The only problem is shares on my broker were like 26 cents, and I didn't really have enough conviction. It wasn't on top of my mind that like, hey, this is a China liquidation play. I got to get in now. Like, if I had that thesis, I would have been fine paying 26 cents a share, and I would have been fine even especially chasing this once I saw the ask come in, once I saw the bids get taken out. They did the classic. They fake up halt it, then they start dumping. We see that over and over again in 2023. I just didn't have that thesis, and then I was kind of cheap. I was like, I don't want to pay for it, and then I missed the whole liquidation play. But I did want to talk about this price action and this price action because it's very important as a short to know what to avoid, right? Like thin China manip is something you want to avoid unless in this case the volume really came in. So now thin China manip becomes big volume China manip, which is a little different. But yeah, I mean, I didn't short any of this yesterday. Didn't short this morning, and then I missed the fade, and it's how it is sometimes. But cool little chart. Talked a lot about it in the Discord. There's a lot of guys in there that did short this, and not only, some guys that did short this early on. Don't blame them. Don't blame anybody. But people who definitely shorted the liquidation, including, by the way, once the liquidation thesis was getting confirmed, there was guys shorting down here, right? It's just like my MLGO short, where I shorted at 6.5 and high day was at 10, right? If you have the right thesis and the right read on the volume, if your thesis is China liquidation and you see the selling come in, this isn't even a chase. That's not a chase at all. And there's guys in the room shorting in under VWAP in the twos here, and they made, they're up 45%, and if they want to swing it, they can make 60, 70%. It could be a big trade even though you didn't catch the top. So just goes to show if you understand what's going on, and if you have the right thesis and you can read the chart, you can still make a lot of money. So hope that was a good one. Discord link below. A lot of cool people. Shout out to anyone who joined early. Day 1, day 2. A lot of interesting stuff. A lot of conversation about this. A lot of fun. So, yeah, MTC, China liquidation, probably going to 50 cents. See you guys.